Thanks for barging in.
Sure. They sent me up the stairs and opened the door.
And here you are. This is great. Now who's behind door number 2? So now Yvonne was just trying her best to not tell us anything at all about this new season of Dexter.
Dexter's press secretaries.
Right.
We try to say as much as possible.
So can you go ahead and not tell us anything about the new season of Dexter?
Sure. Okay.
Perfect. We're done. But now, I do want to ask. I mean, obviously.
Yeah, give me a specific question.
Absolutely. I do want to ask. At this point in the show, we've seen Dexter kind of go through so much. Obviously, the way that season finale cut off, I think everyone's really kind of anticipating what's going to come next. Can you talk just a little bit about, in the most general, non-spoilery terms possible,
right,
where's Dexter at this season?
Well, I mean, I think we first of all get to find out what happened in the immediate aftermath of the conclusion of 6. I mean, he's caught as red-handed as you can ever be caught. So we get to see that unfold. And I guess I can say generally, I think I'm excited about how the season is shaping up and shooting it, because I think the show is always at its best when he is in hot water, and he's just going from pot to pot to pot, of boiling water.
It's exciting. I mean, is there a sense now that, after so many seasons, you need to even ratchet up that hot water even more at this point?
Well, it's nice if there's something that comes organically out of the story we've been telling that allows the landscape to fundamentally change, and that certainly happens with the discovery that Deb makes. The whole landscape has changed, and it's really exciting to be able to breathe life into a new energy.
Now, what's the relationship like between Hannah and Dexter? Or at least, where does that kind of start from?
It starts, actually, Deb, in an attempt to get Dexter to distract him from something, she assigns him to help out on a case that involves getting a DNA sample from Hannah at her...
well, that's more than I said.
At her
Perfect. We're slowly learning more and more.
There's a DNA sample involved. You heard it here.
This is exciting, boy. Major plot twist.
Breaking
Dexter.
Yeah.
Now, Yvonne, I want to ask you. Obviously, you're jumping into this series after a long time working on a very different kind of show. I mean, if nothing else, Chuck was maybe a little bit less bloody. Generally speaking, than Dexter. What's the comparison like between the two shows been for you so far?
Well, it's interesting because it's so. I feel like I'm part of sort of like an adult cast, as opposed to.
Wow.
Well, no, on the Chuck set it was always very. Everyone. It was like song and dance, and everyone's really funny and trying to la la la. It's all like that and.
Are things a little more serious at the Dexter?
It's more serious. It's a little. But it's great. It's not. That's not to say it's not fantastic. I mean, and I'm certainly very excited to be working with such extraordinary actors. I don't think I really have had a chance to tell these guys yet, but I tried to the other day, but then I laughed because I was in a giggle.
You watched every episode of this show about as quickly as anybody probably.
Oh, did you do a big Dexter binge before you came on the show?
I did 1 to 5 in 2 weeks, and then I did the 6th in another week. So 3 weeks. Yeah.
That's a lot of intensity coming at you.
I was like
once.
dreaming Dexter. You were in my dreams every night, kind of like stab, all this stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was craziness.
Michael, did you watch any of Chuck before working with Yvonne?
I've seen some of.
It's okay, you can say no.
Not really.
Cruel but fair.
But you'll be giving him the Clockwork Orange binge treatment of Chuck.
I guess. I don't know.
Long.
I mean, I guess we are pretty serious at work. I mean, it's ambitious, and I do think that whatever sort of story you're telling kind of informs maybe how you act on set.
Well, and the mood on the set.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just it's a more serious show.
Yeah.
Right.
Who's
It's
fun.
I'm gonna go home and.
Is there anyone on set who kind of breaks the tension at all, or is it just a very tense, very tight?
Desmond Harrington will.
He's the jokester.
Yeah, he'll act like a complete idiot.
I notice he giggles a lot.
Yeah, he's a giggler.
Yeah.
Well, again, without asking too much about this new season, I would just ask both of you, what in general do you think is different now? Even besides the addition of your character, how's Dexter kind of moving forward from here? I'll ask Dexter first.
Well, I think, the story of the show has been a guy who initially says he's not capable of being human, slowly discovering that he does have some connection to a sense of his humanity. And a lot of that has been sort of a shinier, softer, happier version of what it might mean to be human.
Mm-hmm.
I think now that his secret is out, you see him behave in human ways, but maybe the less savory side of what it can sometimes mean to be human. To be paranoid, manipulative, and blatantly self-serving.
Mm-hmm.
But we still like him.
But he's still lovable though. That's really
ideally.
kind of the important thing.
Yeah.
So it's funny. I mean, like for you as an actor, having lived with this character for so long now, I mean, like, is it fun? Is it fun, or is it really kind of a challenge now to be exploring these new sort of paranoid, more sort of human-like emotions?
It's both. It is a challenge, and I'm thankful for that.
Mm-hmm.
It's not boring. And I'm certainly in a place with the character that I couldn't have even imagined when we were shooting the pilot. It's evolved and changed and taken turns, but somehow, what we do collectively as an ensemble of actors, what our writers do, we're able to sort of keep it alive.
And I mean, we've seen so many different kinds of serial killers on the show before. I mean, like, again, without, I don't know anything about your new character at all, but, is there sort of a new big bad in this season, or a series of big bads that Dexter will be sort of
There are
dealing with?
definitely some formidable characters that he's going to contend with.
I like that. That was very carefully chosen words.
Yeah. Formidable's always a good one when talking about
You must have had a lot of practice
vague
with
bad guys. Yeah, I've learned that that's a good one.
I mean,
Sort of phases people.
Of course, yeah. Just like try to be as vaguely defined as possible. Formidable. I like that. Ooh.
Oh, formidable.
You did a little
Okay,
kind of
yeah.
Jedi mind trick for a 2nd there.
These are not the droids you're looking for.
Well, do you guys have any final thoughts about Dexter, or any final thoughts about Dexter without actually talking about Dexter that we could talk about here?
Other than formidable, I don't know. I
Yeah.
think you hit the nail on the head.
Well, if you can't
with
talk
that one.
if you can't talk about your character's on-screen relationship, what's it been like off-screen? And like, pretend Michael isn't here. What's he really like on set?
He's lovely.
And
he's
now
been very
the lovely and talented Anna Paquin has
yeah.
arrived. Now this is great.
Oh, I would get in trouble.
No, it's been wonderful. I mean, I haven't been working all that much yet. We're only just sort of getting into it.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know if I'm allowed to say how many days I've worked, but
Right.
Let's give a rough estimate.
It's
by powers of 10, or like
few.
1 or 10 or 100. Where are we
Several.
at right now?
I would say I think we're pushing several.
Several days.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
yeah.
Well, this has all been very exciting, late breaking news from the set of the new season
Several
of
days
Dexter.
completed.
But thank you both so much for being here, and I hope you enjoyed Comic-Con. And please do stick with Entertainment Weekly. We're bringing you more live coverage from Comic-Con 2012.